Have you ever wondered what it takes to achieve enlightenment? It's a lofty goal, right? But one that's been sought after for centuries. Well, in this video, we're going to explore the 8 stages to full enlightenment. And this was outlined by Sage Patanjali. I'm going to show you the exact method that the yogic tradition sets out for you to get there. But first, most of us have absolutely no idea what yoga's really about. And if you think you do know, awesome. But stay tuned because it might be a little bit deeper than what you first thought. So what really is yoga then? Well, yoga is already a fact. This is very important to understand. Yoga is already the case. Everything is and always has been connected. There is one energy, one life, and no thing can exist separately from it. Everything is one. It's a scientific fact, and you can ask any physicist. But also, yoga is experiential. Just because it's a fact doesn't necessarily mean it's our reality. We may get it with our intellect, but if our cells don't agree, it will make little difference to the way we live our life. However, if we actually experience ourselves to be one with life, this will change our reality forever. But finally, yoga is a systematic methodology. It's set up into reliably effective stages of one's spiritual development. It's an inner science in that way. And in order to experience the fact of oneness or the fact of yoga as our living reality, we have the method and the technology of yoga to help us remove that idea of separateness and restore us to our original state of unity. But first, let me just quickly introduce myself. I'm Jamie and I run the Yogic Tradition, which is a school for higher learning and spiritual development. Now, we've helped hundreds of aspirants over the years navigate the tough challenges of their spiritual awakening by giving them the proven structure and pathway to success. This helps people make their awakening a joy instead of a fight. Now, I had an awakening experience long ago, which felt amazing, but afterwards, because my system wasn't mature enough, it couldn't hold on to all of the energy that this experience imparted me with. So I came crashing back down to earth, and fast. And that led me to a depression, or what we would call in this community, a dark night of the soul. And I had this seeming inability to reconnect to that wonderful state of being that my awakening led me to. And I tried everything, like DIY YouTube yoga, as many generic meditations as there were on YouTube, and listening to like binaural beats, but nothing seemed to work as hard as I tried. That was until I found my teacher, and that was the moment that everything changed for me. My mind began to quiet and my well-being grew as I was brought more and more into my original state. Then I was initiated into a powerful lineage of yogis with its roots in the heart of Rishikesh, India, and I became a qualified teacher, and I've been training with him, my teacher, ever since. And the method and the structure that he imparted to me is the exact method I'm about to share with you today. So let's have a deeper look at the 8 stages to enlightenment. Now, these were set out by the father of modern yoga, Sage Patanjali. Now, he existed around 2,000 years ago, which kind of gives you an indication, right, of how ancient yoga actually is, if he's the father of modern yoga. But the first 2 stages are quite simple. They are the yamas and the niyamas. Now, the yamas and the niyamas are basically the moral observances, kind of like the do's and the don'ts of the path. Typically, if you were trained classically, these would have to be in your systems already before a teacher would even consider initiating you into asana. Now, asana is the 3rd stage, and this is what people think yoga's really about. But boy, this doesn't even scratch the surface. Asanas are those physical postures that most of the West has absolutely destroyed by making this into little more than physical exercise. And unfortunately, almost regrettably, the East is beginning to follow suit too. Once the aspirant is accomplished in asana and has some form of mastery over the physical body, he or she would then be initiated into the 4th stage, which is pranayama. Now, pranayama is breath work. Prana means life energies or life force, and yama means control of. So here we are really beginning to gain mastery over our life force. And if you can gain mastery over your life energies, you can gain mastery over your life. In addition, then, the 5th stage of enlightenment begins to unfold quite naturally out of that. And that's called pratyahara. This is the absorption, the inward absorption of the senses. And at this point, we're no longer really living for sensory pleasures. We still enjoy them, don't get me wrong, and perhaps even more so because it's coming from a deeper space that isn't linked so much to attachment and needing things in the outside world. We've gone from being weak and in many addictions to strong and stable in our own power, which then gives rise to the 6th stage, dharana, concentration. Your ability to concentrate on a single point is only possible now because you've gained control of the body through the asanas and the life energies through pranayama. And now, because we're inwardly absorbed and the mind is stilled somewhat, we can concentrate easily, which gives way then to the 7th stage, dhyana, or meditation. Now, this is why we say meditation is not something you do. Meditation is a state of being earned through the practice of yoga. Without the proper preparatory steps, meditation is just thinking, or disassociation most of the time. But because we have done the proper training, our energetic systems have purified to such a degree that we have enough prana for samadhi, the final stage. Samadhi is total unification with your original state. You've merged with the infinite, or perhaps we could say this is enlightenment. Now, typically this journey takes 12 years in the best case scenario, but because the yogis have done the work prior to you, they have left a morphic resonance field in the ether that can bring that time down drastically in this age. And you see it, don't you? It's why there are so many awakenings happening on the planet at this time without any prior knowledge of spirituality or any prior practice. So we have a lot to thank the brave souls that walk this path before us for. But there are no guarantees. If you're not willing to put in the work, this could take lifetimes. Anything worthwhile takes time, doesn't it? So if you want to do it properly and get it right the first time, you'll be saving yourself down the line for sure. So why am I telling you any of this? Well, this is where things get really exciting. We've built the yogic tradition, which is a school for higher learning and spiritual development. Now, you don't have to want to be enlightened to join us, but if you want to liberate your mind and no longer be held back by what anybody else thinks of you, if you want to find some solid, stable foundation of well-being in your system, and you want a community of like-minded individuals to share your experience with so we may learn and grow together, then this is the place for you. Heck, if you even want the proven practices, structure, and battle-tested teachings to take you all the way in this life, straight from the heart of a sacred tradition that has no ties to any organized religion, then we could also support that too, in time, so long as you don't overtake me on this path. But even if you do, at least then I can claim, I was a great teacher. Because the definition of a good teacher surely is somebody who's taken the student further than the teacher has been able to go themselves, right? So if you've watched some of our videos on YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram, and there's a feeling that there could be something in this for you, that you're ready to put the work in, and you want to know perhaps how you can get the same results that I and thousands, well, more like millions of other yogis have, then we want to talk with you. So by all means, book a call with me down below and we can speak. You never know, this literally could be the moment that everything changes for you. Looking forward to speaking with you then. Lots of love. Namaste.